We don't spend a whole lot of time this week discussing scenarios. I think for us, the important thing is doing what we can and focusing on that. And obviously, that is trying to win a game with a 2-goal advantage. That would be our first objective. What happens elsewhere, of course, we'll monitor during the 90 minutes. But I don't think we. I don't. I'd be lying if I said we watch closely. It's completely out of our hands. So I think we're better off focusing on ourselves.
But I mean, you would be aware of. I get what you're saying, and that's the right point. But you would be aware of it and say, let's say late in the game you needed another goal. Obviously, you would push for that goal.
Sure. Yeah. It's professional sports. There's plenty of communication going on at the stadiums, and it's, I think, a legitimate way of going about that game. Yeah.
Is it fair to say that, regardless if you finish first or second, you open the playoffs at home, you know that you're in the playoffs, that finishing the season strong with a strong performance is equally as important as anything else?
Yeah, of course. So I mean, if you do your job, but results don't go your way, there's no point in making that a negative by any means. It's only positive. We've won a couple games in a row now, and to finish the season on a high note with a win is very important. Yeah.
Sergey referenced it last week, and Nate did in his post-match press conference, or winning and scoring a lot in the game against San Jose. So when winning's not enough necessarily, you have to score on top of that. Does that change the perspective in the approach or the way that you look at what you have to do?
Well, a 2-goal advantage wouldn't be in my book a massive victory. I think many goals in every weekend, or many games every weekend, are decided by that margin. So, and it's not completely uncanny of us at home to win with a 2-goal advantage. So I don't think it's that extreme. I think you focus on winning a game, and we'll see what result that is and how the game starts. Nobody knows what's going to happen on Saturday, which is great. You could go down a goal, and then it makes it a little more difficult. You could go up early. You get to the post 17 times. Keeper stand on his head. You don't know, and so we're prepared for everything, but we're focused on what we know we do well, and I've seen signs of that this week in training, and again, I think I will again tomorrow, and that's great preparation.
You had a full week of training last week and a full week of training for this match. What does that mean for Carlos's potential availability? Do you see there's any chance that he would play on decision day?
Yeah, his availability increases for sure.
So
It's possible. Yeah.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't said that yet, so this is an update on his progress.
We are further down the road.
All right, that's good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you look at this situation, would you rather be the hunter or the prey, or does it really matter? Do you have a preference?
I think after 33 games is the 34th, and a bunch of different competitions in between, I'm not sure. For me, it doesn't make sense to think about that. We accept the situation for what it is. It's been our mentality for the last 3 seasons. Take it from game to game, and we accept that role when we're given that role.
Sorry.
That's all right. Last year set a record for a number of matches in a season by an MLS club with 53. And not quite there this year, but you could get close to that mark, and it's 99 as for the last 2 years with this game in San Jose. Just that long marathon. I mean, you guys have managed it extremely well, and you've made finals, and you've had high moments, and all these sorts of things. Just can you sort of encapsulate what that journey has been like the last 2 years for you guys, and the challenge of it? Most teams don't have to face something like that.
Yeah, I can only just applaud the mentality of the group and the players of always trying to maximize our situation. It's not easy. And then, on top of that, I think that the staff, performance and medical and management and obviously the coaching staff, and our friends from the media as well, Alonzo. Everybody at LAFC is working towards kind of the common goal of maximizing the team's potential and trying to win everything we partake in. And that only happens when everybody is willing to sacrifice and put their own interests aside. And that's the feeling that I have at LAFC the last couple of years, and it's very gratifying. It's wonderful to see, and it's great to take part in. But there are times where it's very difficult, yeah. The schedule continues to be more congested and more complicated. And the better our league gets, the more internationals we'll have. And if we continue to play international windows, then the more of a conflict it's going to be. But these are all good problems, so I welcome those problems.
You mentioned internationals. All the guys back and healthy. Do you expect to have a full group for Saturday?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, we're still in travel as we speak.
Okay, so who's not back yet?
Denis and Kike.
Max, any questions?
Would you be a coach more? Because I know there's two schools of thought. Of like, there's a result going on that you would alert the players, or you kind of keep that till after the game.
It depends. It depends on the state of our game. So when you combine the scores, if there's a chance to affect the end result, then yeah, of course you do what you can. I'm not going to hold up a sign on the sideline.
One of these?
Nor do I think we'll post the scores in the stadium. I mean, there's many things we can do. I don't even know if that's possible in the MLS or if we're allowed to. I don't know. Every year in other leagues, that's always a conflict. What do you do? What don't you do on decision day? For us, we're going to go try to win a game. And we have our clear game plan. And how well we implement that, I think we won't really have to do a whole lot, hopefully in the last 15 minutes. But we're prepared for all scenarios, and we've talked about those.
How would you rate how Marlon played in that? He was obviously coming in late in the season, an important role to help shore up the defense with some guys missing.
Yeah, I did really well. I think, having not played, not trained at a high level for 4 months, to come in and just start training and racking up minutes and at the end of games with us before we, started him, he's done really, really well, and he held up. He was fatigued after the game, obviously, and fatigued in the second half in Vancouver, but has recovered great and feels really fresh today. So he's tracking along really nice, and I thought he played excellent in the first half.